going from one reboot to another reboot spinoff. We don't know what Sony's going to do, but they're going to try their hardest because they have officially threatened us, and it seems like it's definitely happening now that Madam Web has flopped. The Miles Morales live action Spider-Man film is really going to happen. They are pushing forward with this, but not only that, also more Spider-Verse films, maybe, but they're not making it clear if they're talking about live action and or animated. I'm going to assume it's live action because it was during interviews for Madam Web. So,
Oh,
ooh, we talked about this before.
Yeah,
Miles Morales on film. Ugh.
Yeah, so basically, since Madam Web just straight up bombed and was basically waste of money, that now, yeah, we kind of got to. We kind of got to put Miles in this as well. I just don't want them to do it. I mean, because I know people were wondering if Marvel or Disney as a whole and Sony came to an agreement or made an agreement because of the announcement that Sony Pictures was going to start producing all of their physical media content going forward, so Disney doesn't have to. So if you have a problem with Disney not putting out physical media of their movies, you blame Sony Pictures because they're the ones controlling it. So they're thinking that they made another deal that they can't announce yet, that they will continue with their such as continue with their Spider-Man deal. Yeah. And they're allowing, Marvel to take the brunt of that, but Sony still has a hand in what happens in this Miles Morales movie going forward.
Mm-hmm. Putting on the conspiracy goggles, it's easy to connect these dots and be like, well, maybe not. But we've had insane scenarios before that everybody said would never happen with Sony, and they did. I do believe that Sony understands that the moment you put from the same studio that brought you Venom, Morbius, and Madam Web, you're not looking good. You need that MCU mentioned in there. I do think we're at the shifting point now where Sony has realized, you know what? We got to do this the right way. We're not going to succeed off the back of the MCU. Only Venom succeeded because, hey, it's Venom.
Yeah,
that wasn't going to happen to Madam Web and Morbius. I don't care who you are. So,
to be honest, I think it was more, how do we afford this going forward?
Yeah.
You can't keep spending that amount of money to not get anything. Obviously, Madam Web didn't cost that much, so the hit's not going to be horrendous. But it's still, you can't keep putting out movies in a loss.
Because, we know the moment the Miles Morales movie, takes flight and they start shooting, that's a $200 million budget easily. Because you got to shoot in New York, you got to do all this and that.
And that this particular Spider-Man has a whole set of different powers as well. So,
yeah, they are going to be in for a ride. Like Tristan said, I hope that something has been worked out here. Yeah. That those conspiracy hats are true, and we're just all going to end up winning in the end.
I only hope that there's a loophole where it's the deal between them is like Marvel makes the Spider-Man movies, and that includes Miles.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that would be the best case scenario, because usually it's only with certain characters, because that's what the deal entailed, and that we're gonna do this on our own. I'm like, please don't. The only way you guys are making any money from Venom is because he's Venom. He always makes money for whatever reason. He makes money
because hentai. That's why.
I thought it was for Todd McFarlane's, always coming out every 5 years.
Kristen, every single day, millions more of edgy teenagers become 10, 11, 12, 13, and they discover Venom, okay? That's just law.
You say millions of teenagers become 10.
10, 11. Well, they're turning from 10 to 11 to 12 to 13, and then you're kind of there, right?
It's just the teens start at this very specific number.
Yes. I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't been one in 70 years, so what can I say?
I just think Venom comes out every time Todd wants to shield his Spawn movie. That's definitely going to come out.
100%. Yeah.
What's going to come out first? Blade video game and movie versus Spawn?
Blade at this point.
All of Blade, yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, I just don't want them like to screw this up because like
No one does.
yeah, because he's been like teased at, and everyone knows that he's in a version of it is in the MCU, and that if Marvel can correct this whole shift because of everything that's happened and safely, I'm not going to say they don't have a plan, but have a concrete idea of where to go forward after like Fantastic Four, and like since everything is just like, oh, gotta scrap this, got to
Right.
shift to something else. So,
well, nothing's been scrapped yet.
I want
Not
to
technically.
I want to say something.
Not technically. Not
Yeah,
technically.
yeah.
It is not. He's not been scrapped. He's being shifted. Is the word. No, I wonder if because we had that news about Silk
Right.
the other day where it's like, oh, we're going to make it a more male focus. It's like, well, that's great.
That is not going to save her because like thinking back,
No, she doomed her even more, poor girl. No, Silk deserves better.
Well, yeah, it was like because once I read that and I started thinking, I went back to her first appearance with Dan Slott, and I was like, "Oh no, oh no!"
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, she's gonna have all the hormone stuff, and it's gonna be horrendous. No, why? It's like you tried doing a female-led, male-orientated Spider-Man movie literally 5 days ago, and it didn't do too well.
Not at all. But they won't learn.
Well, and recently, I don't know if people were listening or reading the comics. Marvel has started to try and synergize with the whole Spider-Man and Spider-Verse thing again by making Miguel and Madam Web start up a new version of the Spider Society.
Oh, yeah.
And he has to choose which spiders he wants to have on the team. And surprise, surprise, Miles is one of the candidates.
Shock.
So yeah, I just hope that Sony is as hands off as it possibly can, and they just get a bag of money to be quiet and sit there.
Yeah, that's literally the only hope. That's how we win.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad, but that's how it is. So, we'll talk more about this in a bit because Miles seems like it's gearing up, and the next Spider-Man film as well. So, we'll see what happens.